please join me as we express our thanks for this evening's festivities and celebrate the accomplishment of these graduates. You may bow your head in prayer or give thanks silently. Let us unite our hearts in prayer and entrust to the world these students who are graduating this evening. May you have the grace to make wise choices to what is good and right, so that you will stand with confidence. May you find discomfort in easy answers, half-truths, superficial relationships, so that you will live deep within your heart. May you feel anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of all people, so that you will work for justice, equality, and peace. May you be foolish enough to think that you can make a difference in the world, so that you will do those things which others tell you can't be done. May your heart, mind, and integrity be a gift to the world that you share freely. And may the love and support of those who care always be with you. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My faculty and staff get real nervous when I go off what I'm supposed to read, but I really want to say I'm very glad to see everybody. It's been a rough couple of years for us in higher education, and I know this is not exactly perfect because we're all tight in here. I would love to be over at the Grand Prairie Center, but as you know, we not only had a pandemic, but we had a little issue with some ice and water backup. A couple of $1 million worth of restoration is going on. So once again, I'm very glad to see you. My name is Keith Pinchback, and I'm Chancellor here at PCCUA of the University of Arkansas. I'd like to welcome you to the beautiful Stuttgart campus here of Phillips Community College. As I said, it's wonderful to see you here tonight. I'm very aware of the hardship that each of these students had to go through over the last several years, and I applaud each of them, from a pandemic to weather issues, and that's without the knowledge of what they might have gone through with their personal journey. The fact that you're here tonight is an incredible testament to the people that you are. Your success is our success, so take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy the moment. And I promise you, I'll screw up before anybody else. I promise. I may not fall on the heels, but I don't see too many heels, but I'm very glad that each one of you are here. Most likely the students here tonight attended college on our Stuttgart and DeWitt campuses. I welcome each of you, and we are very aware and blessed to say that we attract students from all over this area. Not only do we have graduates tonight here from Stuttgart and DeWitt, but also England, Clarendon, Bella Vista, Casco, Ulm, Gillette, Crockett's Bluff, Humnoke, Holly Grove, Memphis, Keogh, Tichenor, Humphrey, Elmira, and St. Charles. Did I get all of them? All right. We appreciate you choosing to become part of the Ridge Runner family. It's now the part of the introduction where I introduce some of the people that are up here with me. Their job is to create an environment which students can succeed, our administration and our faculty, and they do it well. I ask them to stand and remain standing so we can recognize each one of them at the end of this recognition. Dr. Deborah King, Vice Chancellor for Instruction. Kim Kirby, Vice Chancellor for Arkansas County. And Dr. Kimberly Johnson, Vice Chancellor for Student Services. Please welcome each one of them. Dr. King has done this roughly how many times?
We don't even talk about it.
Okay. By the same token, this is Dr. Johnson's first. So the first and a very mature Dr. King, we'll say that. So thank you all very much. I would also like to introduce our Board of Visitors. Phillips Community College has been very fortunate over the past 5 decades to have an effective Board of Visitors, a board that is committed to the college and acts as an important liaison between the college and the communities that we serve. They're committed to making good things happen in all of our communities that we serve. So let me introduce Chairman Rick Duffield, Jane Ferguson, and David Leach. Please applaud them. And finally, we have been very fortunate to be part of the UA system, University of Arkansas system, since 1996. It has brought tremendous wealth, tremendous support, tremendous backing, and all the things that we have needed in this part of eastern Arkansas. Dr. Donald Bobbitt is here, but please welcome him heavily because he comes to Arkansas County every other year that he can. And he hits how many other schools? 20 other schools? So we're glad to get him down here, and don't ask him about football tickets or baseball tickets because I don't think he has any. So Dr. Bobbitt, thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Chancellor. You know, right now I'm considered to be a very good president because the football team's undefeated, and I'm going to ride that one for a while. You know, one of my privileges of being president is I get to attend really a large number of these. This is number 5 of 9 this year, and I figure in my 11 years I've attended over 220 of these services. Each one of them is very, very meaningful, mostly because I get to see what you're interested in, what your future looks like, and that's what makes my job meaningful. I want to echo what the Chancellor said, and thank you for not only choosing this school, but also for your grit to finish under unbelievable circumstances. I know just statistically amongst you that many of you had to work. Some of you have a family. Others had personal illness, family illness, and then there was the pandemic. And yet, in spite of all those challenges, here you are. So when I call you, the class of 2022, remarkable, I think I'm probably underestimating how remarkable you really are. But you know, very few of us can really say that we've did it on our own. In fact, I suspect that many of you had tremendous support from those sitting behind you, husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, grandparents, children, other supporters, and friends. And so I would like to offer my thanks on behalf of the Board of Trustees to all those who have helped you to this point in your academic career and have helped you with this remarkable achievement. Later on, when you have the time, please join me in thanking them for all they've done to help you in your education. I spent considerable time over the past couple months reflecting on the accomplished faculty here at this institution across the system. And one of the things that I have discerned is that very few of the faculty in the U of A system consider this a job. It's actually a calling. This is the vocation that they have chosen to make a difference in the world. And as I consider their commitment to your education, I'm reminded of a poem called The Bridge Builder. I don't know if you've ever heard of The Bridge Builder, but I'm not going to read the poem to you, but it's a story of an elderly gentleman who's going down a lonely path. It's dusk to kind of set the scene, and he comes upon a very large chasm, a canyon. In the middle of that chasm is flowing a river, which is really quite fast. But this man is at a stage in his life where death really doesn't concern him anymore. And so, without any concern for his own health, he just moves across the stream. And when he gets to the other side, surprisingly, instead of continuing on his journey, he builds a bridge over that same chasm. Well, a fellow pilgrim traveler sees what he's doing and says, you know, you're wasting your strength and your energy here. You've already crossed the chasm and you're never going to cross this way again. Why are you building a bridge at the evening tide? Well, the builder lifts his old gray head and he says, good friend, in the path I've come, he said, there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that was nothing to me, to that fair-haired youth, may a pitfall be. So you see, he must cross in the twilight dim, and good friend, I'm building this bridge for him. This is really a picture of what this faculty has done for you. They've bridged the gap between where you were intellectually when you arrived at this institution and where you are now, soon to be graduates of this wonderful institution. It's often said that under he or she much is given, much is expected. You know, education has the ability to change lives, and because of your experience here, because of what this faculty has given you, you're going to be forever changed, and much will be expected. You must build that bridge so that others can follow. That may be your family, it may be your community, and it may be those in this state and nation. So take time over the next days and weeks, to let those who have made a difference in your life, your family, congratulate Congratulations again for a job very well done. My hope, and the hope of this faculty, I'm sure, is that you will leave here, you will find a purpose in life so big, so encompassing, and so meaningful that it will challenge your every capacity to be at your best. So in closing, I'd like to leave you with my heartfelt best wishes and an Irish blessing. May you always have walls for the winds, a roof for the rain, tea beside the fire, laughter to cheer you, those you love near you, and all your heart might desire. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Good evening. It's my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker tonight. A journalist, content creator, and an Arkansas Press Association Better Newspaper Award recipient, Eplunis Brooks Colvin is a storyteller who crosses many dimensions, and her watchdog reporting has been published more than 1,000 times in her 5-year career as a journalist. Currently a journalist for the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Pine Bluff Commercial, and former editor and reporter of the Stuttgart Daily Leader, Eplunis' stories have been featured in over 75 news and magazine publications, including USA Today, Government Technology Magazine, the Columbus Dispatch, the Miami News Record, and the Mexico Ledger, just to name a few. After graduating from Hershey Math Science International Baccalaureate Magnet High School in 1999, Eplunis, most people call her E, attended the University of Arkansas Little Rock from 1999 to 2003 on an athletic scholarship and was part of the first athletic cohort to reinstate the women's basketball program after a 10-year hiatus. She got her degree in radio, television, and film with a minor in journalism, but decided to become a professional basketball player instead, playing one season in the FIBA Europe and the Global International Basketball Federation. Choosing love over basketball, Eplunis returned to Arkansas and married Paul Colvin, and the two have been married for 17 years. They have a daughter, Zanaya. We are so fortunate to have a keynote speaker with such a distinguished journalism career. Would you help me welcome Eplunis?
Class of 2022, come on. Listen, class of 2022, you did it, you are here, and you are ending one monumental chapter in your life to begin your next. So go ahead, give yourself a hand, give your neighbor a hand. I mean, you guys have worked hard for this. So by a show of hands, how many of you all smoothly sailed through this journey to get to this moment? I mean, no trials, no tribulations. I mean, it was easy breezy. Anybody? Hey, that's okay. That's to be expected. The road was never intended to be easy, but look how you overcame those barriers and you made it. When I was asked to be the commencement speaker, it came to a surprise. And when I asked, why me? I was simply told, because your story will inspire our students, which aligns with my daily affirmations for myself, which is to aspire to inspire before I expire. So I hope my story will inspire you to never stop believing, even when there seems to be obstacles that may get in your way. I want to talk to you about preparing for your purpose, because what you just accomplished is part of that preparation. For every great athlete, Super Bowl MVP, Olympic gold medalists, triathlon winners, in order to be the best of the best, they had to go through some grueling, extensive training that would challenge them physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, to the point of pain, doubt, wanting to give up. But because they were coached and because they possessed qualities of discipline, commitment, optimistic thinking, they were persistent, they were motivated, they were passionate, and they stayed in the fight. The same could be said about you. You hung in there even through the hard times. Like, for real, how many of y'all wanted to drop a class or two? Come on. But you didn't. Though you weren't preparing for the World Cup or the Super Bowl, God was preparing you for your purpose in life, and he will continue as you travel this road to prosper in your purpose. We were all born with a purpose. For some of us, we knew as a child what we wanted to be when we grew up. And for others, we didn't have that revelation until later in life. Although you may not understand all of the details of your purpose, know that God has already laid out your plans. Now, it would be nice if we knew those plans in advance, huh? For me personally, I learned that my purpose was found where I had pain in my life. I began to develop a compassionate heart as a child. My upbringing was psychologically challenging for me, but that molded me to be opposite of what I encountered. Entering into my teen and young adult years, some of the choices I made weren't always the best, but suffering through those experiences and choices, my purpose began to arise and became very apparent as an adult. How many of you have ever gone through a hard circumstances and you ask God, why me? Why is this happening to me? Well, that's the extensive training I was talking about earlier. We will all face trials of various kinds. This process is very painful at times, but it is a necessary requirement in order to prepare us for our purpose. Now, when he read my bio from the surface, it was like, wow, that woman is the bomb.com. But what many of you may not know, it was the hard times and the difficulties that prepared me for those destinies of success. We are all born with gifts and talents, and as you grow on this journey and develop the talents you've been given, you will find that your gifts are just what you need to carry out the work you've commissioned to do. Your talents point you to your purpose, and I found this to be true, not realizing that my past and my present circumstances were preparing me for my purpose. Like I said earlier, my childhood and teenage experiences prepared me to feel compassion and empathy. It showed me how to calmly respond to people who may not have been so calm themselves. Playing team sports prepared me, and it taught me life lessons like self-discipline, teamwork, handling fear and failure, and developing a mental toughness. All those qualities mentioned were preparing me for my next step in my life as a young broadcaster in my 20s, entering into a competitive field in California who faced several barriers while climbing the ladder of success within my company. Any barrier you can think of, I most likely faced them all. Again, I say my past circumstances were preparing me for my purpose. My gifts were developing and improving, and while I thought this element of my life was my purpose in the media field, God was allowing me to be trained for my ultimate purpose in life. He was also allowing those difficulties in my life and on my job to see how I would respond to those unfair actions and if I was ready for what he had planned for me next. My husband and I, Paul Colvin, he's back there. Thank you, honey, for supporting me. We lived in California for 6 years where I worked in television broadcasts. We made a tough decision to move to Texas to be closer to our family when our daughter was born. This is where the realization of my purpose began. God usually doesn't reveal what he's doing while he's doing it because he knows that we would either try to control it ourselves, thinking we're ready when we're really not. I didn't always understand God's ways. We moved to Texas, and I was keyed on finding a job in television production. No one was hiring. My late sister, she says, Iplunis, come work for me at the funeral home. We need someone to make memorial DVDs. I'm like, really, God? You know I want to work in television production, and you're opening up a funeral home door for me? Like, I do not want to go through those doors alive. So, but nevertheless, I was hired, not realizing that God was going to give me exactly what I wanted in a way that I least expected it because the steps he had for me were purposed. Working in the funeral home allowed me to provide a ministry of comfort. My past painful experiences allowed me to have compassion for the families who had lost their loved ones. My kind heart rubbed off on my coworkers who were known to be mean for just no reason. My gifts of producing and editing allowed me to bring life again, creating those memorial DVDs in a way that had never been done before or seen at the funeral home. I was purposely being used to bring light during the darkest moments of a family's life. And how ironic, during that time at the funeral home, Golden Gate Funeral Home, we were picked up to film a reality show for a major cable network, the Learning Channel, TLC. We came on right after Honey Boo Boo, and it's still on. You can stream it on Amazon. It's there. It's called The Best Funeral Ever. The New York-based production company hired me after discovering my out-of-the-box thinking and creativity. I helped write, produce, and I was also on-screen talent. When they say God works in mysterious ways, I can attest to that. He gave me exactly what I wanted in a purposeful way. But that season of my life wasn't my ultimate purpose that God had for me. I didn't know it though. You know, when you get that fame and stuff, you know, your head gets big and, you know, you think you got it going on. So I got caught up in that fame and the celebrity. And though I had worldly success, it was clouding my purpose. So God had to pivot my purpose in a different direction using my husband. So after about 2 years of living in Texas, my husband approaches me and he said, God told me we need to move to my hometown of Stuttgart so I can become a police officer. I'm like, what? Nah. God didn't tell me that. I did not want to move because of my successful career, and I sought counsel with my pastor, and y'all would never believe what my pastor told me. He said, be obedient to your husband. So I went to the pastor's wife. And she told me the same thing. So I reluctantly moved, but when I look back at it now, if I had kept the focus on myself, never would my life purpose have been revealed. Moving to Stuttgart, I had the same drive to get into television broadcasting, and boy, I tell you, the Arkansas market was tough. It was no after thanks, but no thanks. So my husband was like, well, why don't you go work at the newspaper? You have a journalism degree. Once again, God has a sense of humor. I'm like, now God, you know I want to create, I want to innovate, I want to produce. And you're going to open the door at the newspaper right across the street from my husband's job, the police station? Like, I love him, but this part of my life was needed for my purposeful development. I was hired as a multimedia sales executive. I engaged in positive encounters early on in my career, meeting prominent community leaders who trusted me with their advertising campaigns. I gained knowledge of new skills and took advantage of all networking opportunities. But I also experienced new hills and valleys that I wanted to run away from all the way back to Texas, or just crawl into a corner and cry. But because of my past preparation of learning how to respond to adversity and opposition, along with obedience, service, and growth, I was prepared for those difficult situations. I was prepared to handle the valleys, even the ones that I didn't see coming, and my response was always in a way that would bring a resolution of awareness, awakening, and resolve, all while maintaining a sweet spirit, confidence, and resilience. I was mentally prepared to effectively deal with the difficult situations. So I'm going through this preparation process and not realize my troubled experiences of this new season in preparation will later allow me to be the voice for the voiceless, who I could now stand boldly for in my new role as editor and reporter of the Stuttgart Daily Leader. But with that role did come adversity. But because God had prepared me, adversity did not control me. Instead, I controlled it by the way I responded, or in some instances, did not waste energy responding to. I became the watchdog journalist of the community, delivering the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the indifferent. Not only that, I was able to introduce a more engaging news product by incorporating my gifts through video production and social media. Y'all know, if y'all follow me during that time, that Stuttgart Daily Leader Facebook page was a hot commodity back then. But my purpose didn't stop there, though. That was only the beginning. My watchdog journalism spread beyond not just Arkansas County, but Jefferson County as I transitioned into my new role with the Pine Bluff Commercial and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I was being recognized on a local, state, and national level. Yes, my gifts and talents were getting me worldwide recognition and rewards, but as I really began to reflect about what I was truly doing and how I was helping so many people win a battle that they had been fighting for so long, I mean, people were literally coming to me crying, thanking me for a story that I had wrote that had changed their lives, or information provided that helped them get their rent paid, or bringing an awareness to a difficult situation in their life that was now being turned around for the good. I knew then my purpose was more than just being an award-winning reporter, but it was about impacting the lives of the people who I encountered. It was about being a difference maker and being a light in a world full of darkness. My purpose revealed meaningful encounters that fostered a nourishing fellowship, provided life-changing moments, healing, and insight. It wasn't just about my works, but it was about how my works made people feel. Even in the uncomfortable moments of reporting, it would be worth every critical moment I faced because it was being done for what was right, for what was true, and what was honest. You can reach all of your personal goals, become a raving success by the world's standards, and still miss the purpose for which God created for you. As you enter into the next phase of your preparation season, allow yourself to understand your purpose and your journey outside of your job. Make life decisions with your purpose in mind and not just with your career in mind. Surround yourself with people in life who will encourage you to follow the course. Behind every world changer, historical figure, and difference makers was a team that helped shape and encourage them. For me, I had my parents, my siblings, coaches, teachers, friends, family, pastor, church members, co-workers, my husband, and even my children that played an influential part in my season of preparation. To this day, I surround myself with people who are further down the road than me, people who share the same values as me, people who are smarter than me. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. If you are, get out of that room quick. People who are more experienced than me, and people who have more battle scars than I do. Accept the no's that come your way. It's been said that the word no is just another acronym for next opportunity. So remember that. Stay humble in the process and just keep it pushing. Remember that everything is a test, and how you handle this test will mold your character. The direction you choose is up to you. For every roadblock that you may encounter, for every door that closes, for every no and disappointing outcome that may come your way, don't look at it as a... Instead, be optimistic in your thinking and look at it as a setup for something greater, because you are destined and you are purposed. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone like I did. Remember the funeral home? Who would have thought? You may not know which door God will eventually open for you, but because you are purposed, it will be the door that you are prepared to walk through. Now, I love me some Marvel movies, especially Black Panther. The late actor Chadwick Boseman, he was a motivational speaker who once said, "Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are meant to shape you for your purpose." I am also spirit-led, and I'm reminded of the scripture, 1 Peter 4:12-13, and I like to read the Message version because it really breaks it down. Friends, when life gets really difficult, don't jump to the conclusion that God isn't on the job. Instead, be glad that you are in the very thick of what Christ experienced. This is a spiritual refining process with glory just around the corner. Now, look in the audience, like I know some of you all personally. I know your story. I know what you went through. I know the trials and tribulations you encountered. But just know that God can take your difficulties and turn them into total victory. Although I may try to be tough and strong as those Marvel characters that I love, I am human, and sometimes I do cry, and sometimes I do hurt. But when I look over my life, and at the times when I was broken or weak in the valley, it was God who gave me strength and pulled me through. Just like the great athletes of today who are trained for greatness, they had a coach that helped create the quality athlete. In this journey of life, God has been my coach, and he has prepared me for my purpose, providing me with the essential qualities needed to prosper in my purpose. Anything and everything that you have experienced has been purposeful. It has brought you to where you are now as a 2022 graduate. So understand your worth and your capability and never sell yourself short. Stay focused and know your life is purpose. For every opportunity that comes your way, I want you to hold your head up, stick your chest out, and claim victory over your life. So journey on, class of 2022. Follow your passion, and it will lead you to your purpose and who you're truly destined to be. Thank you.
That was so inspiring, and I loved hearing your story in your words. I'm Dr. Debbie King. I'm Vice Chancellor for Instruction and serve as the Chief Academic Officer. I want to congratulate all of our graduates. I've congratulated you already today, but you know how I feel. It's been a difficult 2 years. But this is the 55th commencement that we've had at PCC. Teddy Roosevelt said, "You believe, you can, and you're halfway there." I want you to think of tonight as the beginning, not the end, the beginning of what you're going to do tomorrow. You're halfway there toward reaching your life goals. Some of you will enter the world of work. Some will transfer to a four-year university, and some of you will be doing both. But before we proceed, I want us to take a moment to thank those who have helped us along the journey. Those who provided instruction and what you needed to succeed. We need to take a moment to thank Dr. Pinchback, Chancellor at PCC, the graduation committee that worked so hard to make this event special for you. We also need to thank the Board of Visitors, the U of A Board of Trustees, and Dr. Bobbitt. These people always put the interest of you and the college first. We can't forget to thank our family members, and I think you need to clap your hands and be thankful for all the support that they have given. Faculty teach you, and they make it possible for you to leave PCC with knowledge and competencies. We thank the faculty for all that you do, and I know that as students you do too. Let's make sure they know that. And most of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to teach you. Thank you for choosing Phillips. Now the presentation of candidates for graduation in 2022. Will the graduating class of 2022 please rise? Dr. Pinchback, these candidates have completed all of the requirements as they have been set forth by the State of Arkansas, the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees, the Board of Visitors, and the faculty at Phillips Community College of the University of Arkansas.
Now to the business at hand. By the power vested in me by the boards of the University of Arkansas and this college, I do hereby confer upon you the appropriate degrees and certificates. Please move your tassels.
We're getting ready to have you march, but remember, if I for some reason mispronounce your name, stop me, because we want to make sure that tonight, of all nights, we get that correct. Okay? Stand back just a bit. We've got a lot of people in here. We want everyone to see you. Natalie Addison, Associate of Arts. Shelton Bailey, Associate of Arts with Honors. Outstanding Student, Stuttgart. Gwendolyn Ball, Associate of Arts. Melissa Barajas, Associate of Arts with Honors, Outstanding Student, DeWitt. Linda Dillon, Associate of Arts. Mackenzie Dugan, Associate of Arts. Haley Duncan, Associate of Arts. Thomas Edwards, Associate of Arts. Terry Garrison, Associate of Arts with Honors. Carson Griffin, Associate of Arts with Honors. Mackenzie Lacatz, Associate of Arts with Honors. Sydney Mack, Associate of Arts with Honors, Academic All-Star Scholarship recipient. Michael Sims, Associate of Arts with Honors. Carissa Spradlin, Associate of Arts. Brianna Watkins, Associate of Arts with Honors. Alexis Yancey, Associate of Arts. Erica Anderson, Associate of Applied Science. Tiffany Austin, Associate of Applied Science. Jennifer Carpenter Miller, Associate of Applied Science with Honors, Outstanding Student, DeWitt. Sarah Glover, Associate of Applied Science with Honors. Caitlin Hampton, Associate of Applied Science with Honors. Novella Harvey, Associate of Applied Science. Jaleisha Hawkins, Associate of Applied Science with Honors. Cindy Hill, Associate of Applied Science. Quanah Hogan, Associate of Applied Science. Ebony Hunter, Associate of Applied Science. Jacqueline Johnson, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Yolanda Johnson, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Trinity Luckett, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Sashonda Polk, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Garrett Sheeks, Associate of Applied Science. Tanner Wood, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Jennifer Beasley, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Deborah Bowen, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Ginger Bouger, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Tyranisha Davey, Technical Certificate, Early Childhood. Allison Gunther, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Raven Harrison, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Allison Locke, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Stephanie Paget, Technical Certificate, Nursing. Kayla Smith, Technical Certificate, Nursing. I think we need to give all of them a round of applause.
Graduates, please stand, of course. Bow your head. Gentlemen, take off your hats. Giving all reverence to every religion in this room on tonight, I come to say thank you. Thank you for the many lessons our students have learned along the way, for their achievement of growth, workforce preparation, and the myriad number of supporters that you placed around them. We ask that you continue to show favor in their lives and help them to remember, for much is afforded, much is required. So students, go forth and do great things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.